This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers post-game reviews here on the channel. And well, for the first time in a while, I can tell you the Edmonton Oilers up and gone and won a hockey game. And, well, let me take this off because the green screen is being weird, is the fact that we did it in overtime. So the Oilers, yeah, they blow a lead. What of it? We've done that a million times this year. But as I said, in that second intermission, it was time to clutch up in the third period. For once this season, the Oilers had to go out there and clutch up in the third period. They almost did that in the last 10 seconds once again with a beautiful break for both Nugent Hopkins and Archibald, but there ain't no finish in the Oilers on the regulation ice. And it comes down to overtime, a 4-3 victory for the Oilers on a just beautiful Draisaitl to McDavid feed back of the net. And yes sirree, the Edmonton Oilers back in the win column, now 4-6 on the season. And who cares about the loser point to Toronto? They're in the top three. That doesn't matter. We got to fight to get out of the bottom three before we can worry about who's in the top three. Whew, take a breath. You know what? Everybody put the jumping off of the bandwagon on hold. Just put it on hold another game because the Oilers have done just enough to stay alive yet again. To anyone sitting here, oh, the Oilers were going to blow this one too. Well, here's the thing, as I was right there with you. I was telling everybody all day yesterday, all day today, the Oilers can afford technically to lose this one to the Leafs. It doesn't matter as much as not losing to the Ottawa Senators, but tomorrow we're right back to it, and we got to go out there and get that first two-game win streak of the season underway against the Ottawa Senators. So now let's get into reviewing this one, shall we? That would be a good idea. I think we could really do that and get something going here and change things up a little bit after not having a game review for a couple of nights in a row here. So let's get to it. Final in OT, 4-3 Edmonton Oilers. Dominic Cahoon. Oh, yeah, don't forget the Oilers. They got some depth scoring tonight. Oh, yeah. Only 4 guys, now 5 guys outside of the main 4 offensive players for the Oilers have goals. Dominic Cahoon joins the fray on a beautiful play from Leon Draisaitl and Cahoon. You know what? We didn't buy many bounces today, but the bounce on the Cahoon goal, much needed tonight, and the Oilers got it. Cahoon from Draisaitl, 11:28 into the first period, and we get ourselves on the board 1-0. Then William Nylander, yeah, you know what, he ties it up. Whatever. You know what? I'm sorry. We're going to get sick of watching William Nylander score against the Oilers this year because it's going to happen a lot. I assure you of that. Josh Archibald. How about Josh Archibald? Yeah. Let's get it going. Josh Archibald, depth scoring, 2 goals in a row out of the depth. Gets a goal from Connor McDavid, and that guy that got put on waivers a couple days ago because he's useless. Well, Tyler Ennis comes in, steps into the lineup again tonight, and delivers a beauty of an assist to Connor McDavid, who puts it out in front. And McDavid was just dynamite tonight for us. Can't even say that. And anyone sitting here, oh my goodness, McDavid needs out of Edmonton. I'm sorry. If you want to watch a subpar team be even more subpar, I guess McDavid needs out of Edmonton. But I'm sorry. I quite enjoy watching McDavid, and he needs to stay as long as possible because at times that's about all that is worthwhile watching for the Oilers. And tonight it was worth every cent paid to Sportsnet to watch tonight's hockey game between the Leafs and Oilers. So Josh Archibald, his second of the year, this time not an empty netter, and it gets the Oilers up 2-1. Now, Connor McDavid, we talked about that dynamite. How about that rush? Go to Twitter. Find the Jack Michaels call of that goal if you have not caught it yet. It's on Twitter there. In case you weren't listening to 6:30 Ched this evening, you gotta check out that call. It is an absolute beauty to sum up an absolute beauty by Connor McDavid. Oh, and by the way, Tyson Barrie gets an assist on that. His 4th assist of the season Oh, Tyson Barrie has 4 points in 10 games. Gee, that kind of seems shocking for a guy that everybody's saying is so terrible. I get it. I understand what you're calling that. But at the same rate, you got to wake up and smell the coffee a little bit too. Adam Larsson has 2 goals for the Oilers. Imagine where they'd be without those 2 goals. Even less goals scored. You get where I'm going. Is it simple? You know what? You got to reward guys for stepping in. You can say that Tyson Barrie assist counts for nothing. I'm sorry. I see on the score sheet that's an assist. It doesn't matter if he had that puck and just literally left it there in the defensive zone for McDavid. It's an assist, no matter how you cut it. Just because it's a McDavid all-world goal doesn't make that assist any less of an assist. He touched the puck before McDavid touched the puck. That's an assist. Sorry to say. Austin Matthews, well, then they get all-world passing in our offensive zone or defensive zone to the Leafs. They make it 3-2. The Oilers then choke at Zach Hyman. And here's the thing. I'm sorry. Another terrible bounce in front of the Oilers' net. And it ends up back in the net. Zach Hyman all alone off of a John Tavares tip right onto his stick. At what point are the Oilers going to get these bounces that every other team has gotten since the play-in series? It's getting frustrating. It's getting upsetting. And I'd like to see it start bouncing our way at some point here right quick. Now, John Tavares, Mikko Lehtinen, by the way, in case you're tuning in from Finland, gets his first career point in the NHL. However, that third period, that was an all-world stalemate third period between the Leafs and Edmonton Oilers. Very much so. Enjoyed that third period. You know what? The Oilers, they've sucked in third periods this year. But guess what? We went out there and we stayed the course. We didn't panic. We lost Ethan Bear. He has not returned to the game. He is probably going to be out. So cue Evan Bouchard ASAP. But now, guess what? You had to do it with 5 defensemen. You had to count on Tyson Barrie. And the Oilers get it done in that third period to salvage at least a point out of this one. And yes, sir, we took it to overtime. And oh, no. We didn't just get 1 point. Yeah, baby. Leon Draisaitl to Connor McDavid in overtime. Draisaitl's 9th assist of the year. Connor McDavid's 7th goal of the season so far. Guess who's on a heater? 7 goals, 10 games. My goodness. Have yourself a season so far, Connor McDavid. Now, here's the thing. Let's get to the stats, shall we? Who did what this game? The Oilers, 31-29, the shots in favor of the Oilers. Oh, don't forget Mikko Koskinen was fantastic despite, Freddie Anderson. Oh, he's got a better save percentage than Mikko Koskinen, no doubt about it. Yeah, by like .02. They're both in the 800s. The hits, 19-17 for the Oilers. Face-offs, 36-26 for the Oilers. Penalties, dead even. Power play goals, dead even. Penalty kills, dead even. The giveaways, 9-7 between the Leafs and Oilers. 9-8 the takeaways for the Oilers. So they lead both categories. Block shots, man, the Oilers were pouring it on the net tonight. How about 16 block shots for the Leafs compared to the Oilers just 10? And don't forget about how many the Oilers missed over top of the cage trying to be too fancy. Oh, Austin Matthews may be a little guilty of that too this evening. Now here's the thing. My friends, it was a night for Mikko Koskinen, who ends up having an .897 save percentage. Oh, actually, inconveniently, Freddie Anderson now, after tonight's game, giving up 4 goals. Sorry, I'm calculating here somewhere in a shootout for whatever reason. Yeah, Freddie Anderson now has a worse goals or save percentage, than Mikko Koskinen. Who would say? I thought Mikko Koskinen isn't starter material, but Freddie Anderson is. Yeah, that Freddie Anderson in Toronto, he's what an NHL starter is all about. Sorry, not in my books. All right, anyway, Josh Archibald, heck of a game out of him tonight. Really liked what he brought. Tyson Barrie, 22 minutes on the ice. Yeah, -2. But when he was a plus or even player when it counted this game. You have Ethan Bear only playing 17 minutes and 3 seconds on the ice. And yeah, you know what? Draisaitl 2 assists. You've got Ennis with an assist. Cahoon with a goal. Connor McDavid a 3-point night. Maybe you got to like that. Travis Dermott, maybe not a good night to sit him, as the Oilers sat Alex Chiasson, Chris Russell, and William Lagesson this evening. So, my friends, the Oilers, they get it done. They absolutely they get it done. And Tim, if you're watching this recap, Your message just came in just right now at the 9:40 mark. I didn't forget about it. It just literally came in. That's what my phone was beeping about. I just want to say, yeah, you told me right. See, other people were telling me the Oilers were going to win tonight, and the Oilers pull it off. Now, stay on the bandwagon, even if it's just because your shoelace is caught as you're trying to jump off, because we've got a game tomorrow against Ottawa, and if the results for the Canucks against Ottawa are anywhere near as promising for the Oilers, well, you know what? Guess what? We're right back in the thick of things here by mid next week. I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Another strong game out of Mikko Koskinen. Ladies and gentlemen, he was a gem, as was our captain, Connor McDavid. The team did what they needed to do to win. The perfect game ends up being a 4-3 OT win after a choke job in the second period. But hey, you know what? A perfect result is a win. And guess what the Oilers did? They won. I am up on out of here.